Okay, Mommy. Okay, we're going to start going back. Thank you. Go back. Thank you.
Hey there. How you doing? Oh, yeah. What's going on here? What's going on here? There you go. Look at those two.
Very excited to see you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm making a big announcement about making sure you get to see the dentist. Yeah, it should make a difference, eh? Yeah. Glad to do this. So how have things been? Good. Everything is good? How old is she? 2 and 2 months. That's nice. Oh, banana now. Get your banana soon. How's that? Pleasure to see you. So they're over there? How old are they?
Like the instruments. Is that your?
Yeah, that's UW.
Okay.
UW president.
Oh, Shepherd.
Let's see someone. What are you guys doing? Thank you. Hey there. What's your name? Rabjeet. Hey guys. Hey, what's your name? Good. And you? What's your name? Good to see you. Hi. How you guys doing? So you're looking at the teeth here?
Yeah, we are talking to them.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we're showing them how your teeth should be, how you should brush, and giving them producing dental knowledge.
Yeah.
And we are just doing it.
Yeah, just all the different tools.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's it. The more they understand, the more they won't be scared.
That's right.
That's right. Exactly right.
The more they're doing things, they can grow up.
Oh, see, look at that. You guys good. Keeping all that very clean. Here we go. Get the light on there too. Huh? Oh, look at that. You can see what we're doing. Very nice. Great to see you.
Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Watch behind you. There's a lot of people. Thank you. Watch behind you.
So much. All right, careful.
You have a guess?
What are you guys looking at here? What is that?
We're counting teeth.
Counting teeth. How many teeth do you think there are?
In all? How many teeth?
How many teeth?
32. Very good. That's if you get to keep your wisdom teeth.
Yes, if we do. So we were just showing them like how to count the teeth. Like we counted from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 in the upper right, and then 8 in the upper left. And so all together we have.
Probably are not going to. Point to the heart tooth. Heart tooth. Where is it? Where is it?
A long time.
I told you this one earlier, but where is the pre?
Wait, what is the window?
Very nice. Yeah. How many teeth are on one side?
Wait, we have
Very nice.
we have a good question about what is the density.
Not everybody has
We
teeth.
can do a lot of different things. We can
Yeah. Some people have more.
Some people have none.
Hey there. What's your name? Oh, sorry. There we go. No. Oh, no. Good to see you. Hey, guys.
have something.
What
I have something.
do you have?
Good question today.
That's the power button.
All of our light and all the water and the air that we're using today is all powered from that button there. There's a question.
Wait, but what is here? What is the sticker?
There's a sticker beside it with the numbers on it.
Yeah, but why does the power button look like?
I got a question for you. What is this? What is this stuff? What is this here for? Why do they have the rubber around it? Can you tell me why they have rubber around it?
Wait, because it might breathe?
Oh, that could be one reason. Yeah. Because when someone works in your mouth, they got to pull and push your lips out of the way, and that's what they have to do with that to make it feel real. They learn how to do it.
Especially to get all the way to those back teeth we were looking at. We had our questions about our wisdom teeth. We would have to open our mouth really, really wide to see them. Exactly.
Does this do anything or just
No, that's just to hold it. It holds it all together with our water and our hands.
Lots of questions. Great to see you guys. Thanks for everything you're doing. Hey there. Hey there, Sam. Hey. Nice to see you. Oh, Mike's right in there. Look at that.
We're cleaning some teeth.
Oh, that is great. You need to shoot that water down there.
Are you going to show Prime Minister Trudeau the heart tooth? Show him the heart tooth.
Oh, can you show me the heart too?
Can you show him? Where's the heart tooth?
And we're going there.
Way at the back.
Why is it called the heart tooth? Does it look like a heart?
Yeah.
There you go.
Lie back. Okay.
Yeah, you want to keep playing with the spray gun. There you go.
Sorry, Rebecca. Yeah, I'll try that. Something like, how's that? Over my shoulder?
No, it's wonderful. There's two-part elevator that's squeezing up. Decades ago, people, but you could
separate out my trip. He's the same with you guys. He's been extraordinarily helpful. Excellent, yeah. Recognize you in the mask. Sounds good. All right. Shall we? We shall. Let's go.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alan Shepard, President of Western. Bonjour, Monsieur le Premier Ministre et tout le monde. Bienvenue à Western University et le Notre Schulich School of Medicine and Dentistry. Faculty, staff, and dental and medical students of Schulich serve more than 2 million people in Southwest Ontario, including Indigenous and rural communities in the region, as well as urban centres such as London. Our dentistry program operates a clinic here with key social responsibilities in the region. The clinic hosts more than 20,000 patient visits per year. It takes pride in serving patients who might otherwise have barriers to dental care, and it educates the next generation of dentists for Ontario and Canada. Along with these patient care responsibilities, our teams at Schulich carry out world-class research that makes a difference in the lives and health of people across Canada and around the world. Merci encore pour votre présence aujourd'hui. It's my now great pleasure to introduce Peter Fragiskatos, MP for London North Centre and Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of National Revenue. Peter.
Thank you very much, President Shepard, for your leadership, and that extends to the entire university team who have hosted us yet again here today. It's been a wonderful engagement with Western over the years, and you continue to prove your value to our community and to our country. Et merci d'être ici aujourd'hui. C'est une journée très importante pour notre communauté et aussi notre pays. Social policy has the unique ability to make life more affordable for Canadians. And we see that. We see that in so many different ways. Earlier today, Minister Gould, who is here today, and myself, MP Kayabaga, visited a child care center here in the community. Because of the national child care program that the federal government has put into place, life is more affordable. But dental plays an enormous role in that as well. Today we announced the Canada Dental Benefit. It's so tremendously valuable for the citizens of this community and of the country as well. It's made possible by many people, but spearheading that effort certainly has been our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. We're so thankful that he is here in our city to announce the formal launch of the Canada Dental Benefit, and I now join him to come to the podium to make some remarks. Thank you very much.
I'm very happy to be here, Peter. Thank you very much for your welcome. Thank you all for the warm welcome today. It's great to be here with Karina and Ariel. Ariel, who's been an incredibly strong constituency MP in her very first stretches as an MP, but we're so lucky to have you on our team. And of course, Karina Gould, who's been an extraordinary minister leading on families, children, and social development for many years now in having a real impact in people's lives. I want to thank you, Alan, as well as John and Carlos and others for welcoming us to Western University today. It's great to be here. It's great to be back. I also want to give a big thank you to Mayor Morgan for being here and welcoming us to London. Thank you, Josh. Where are you, Josh? You're here somewhere. There you are in the back. Really look forward to working with you over the coming months and years as we deliver for Londoners and for people across the country. It's great to have you here. Also really happy to be joined by Dr. Lynn Tompkins, President of the Canadian Dental Association, who will share a few words on this announcement we're making today. The reality is that over the past months and years, the pandemic, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and other issues have contributed to making life more expensive for people. We just had the chance to meet with families here for whom it's not easy to pay the bills. And my message to them is that we're here for you. And today, we're here to talk about what we're doing to continue working hard to support people in the middle class and those working hard to join. 1/3 of Canadians don't have dental insurance. If you have one or more kids at home, you know that sending them to the dentist is not cheap. And for those who don't have insurance, it often is simply not possible or means making really, really difficult choices and trade-offs on what you can afford for your kids. Many children in low-income households are not getting the dental care they need, but as parents, we recognize that dental care is an essential part of children's health and well-being. Well, our government has always been committed to supporting families, and today we're delivering real change with the launch of the Canada Dental Benefit. Aujourd'hui, on lance la prestation dentaire canadienne. Notre gouvernement va aider les familles admissibles à payer les soins dentaires de leurs enfants avec jusqu'à 1 300 $ sur 2 ans. Les paiements sont libres d'impôts et sont versés directement aux parents. Vous pouvez vous rendre sur le site de l'Agence du revenu du Canada pour faire une demande dès aujourd'hui. Our government will help parents pay dental expenses for their kids with up to $1,300 over the next 2 years. Tax-free payments that will be made directly to parents. The Canada Revenue Agency website is open today for applications. This is an important step in the right direction to make sure Canadian children get the dental care they need. We're on track towards implementing a long-term dental care program for families with income under $90,000. This will begin rolling out by the end of 2023 for those under 18, for seniors, and for Canadians living with disabilities, with the full program in 2025. This is all part of our plan to make life more affordable for Canadians. Our new Canada Dental Benefit could help 500,000 Canadian kids see a dentist. And yet, the Conservative Party voted against it and tried to delay it moving through Parliament. At every turn, Conservative politicians have chosen to oppose real measures to help hard-working families. They oppose affordable childcare, they want to cancel the rebates for pollution pricing, and they oppose this dental benefit. But that won't stop us from doing the right thing and supporting families. Notre gouvernement continue d'être là pour rendre la vie plus abordable pour la classe moyenne et pour ceux qui travaillent fort pour s'y joindre. Déjà, on a doublé le crédit d'impôt pour la TPS pendant 6 mois et on a augmenté l'allocation canadienne pour les travailleurs. On va aussi fournir une aide supplémentaire de 500 $ à ceux qui ont de la difficulté à payer leur loyer. Donc on livre des vrais résultats pour les familles et les travailleurs et on va continuer d'être là pour tous les Canadiens. Whether it's by delivering dental care, $10 a day child care, or by lifting hundreds of thousands of kids out of poverty with the Canada Child Benefit, we're going to continue being there for families. Because by putting people at the center of everything we do, by investing in Canadians, we build a better future for everyone and an economy that works for all Canadians. Merci beaucoup. I'm now very happy to call on Karina Gould, Minister of Families, Children and Social Development. Karina.
Well, first of all, I mean, thank you so much, Prime Minister, for being here in London, but for your leadership and your commitment to children and families. I have to say, I'm extraordinarily proud to be part of a team that is making historic, transformative investments in our families and in our children. You know, as the Prime Minister has said, our government is taking an important step to ensure children in Canada get the dental care that they need. With basic necessities like groceries costing more and more, too many families are having to make difficult decisions when it comes to raising their kids. I've heard from families right across the country who are having to choose between childcare and healthy groceries, buying winter coats, and the basic necessities that they need to raise a family. Parents shouldn't have to make that choice. They shouldn't have to choose between feeding their child and looking after their teeth. We know that when children miss routine teeth cleanings and dental exams, oral health conditions like gum disease can get worse until they become big, painful, and permanent problems. And that is why our government has stepped up and introduced the Canada Dental Benefit. As the Prime Minister mentioned, $1,300 per eligible child under 12, up to $650 per year. That is going to provide real support for parents across the country. And I have the opportunity to chat with some of the students and some of the professors here, and the excitement about being able to provide that important oral health care to vulnerable children was really palpable today. You know, I think we all want what's best for our children. We all want them to have the best start they can get in life. And through the Canada Dental Benefit, along with our other affordability measures, our government will continue to be there for families and for their children. Before I end my remarks, as the Minister of Families, Children and Social Development, I would be remiss if I did not speak to our Canada-wide early learning and childcare system. Our national system is about being there for families and providing affordable, high-quality early learning and childcare for children, no matter where they live. It was a privilege to be in Nova Scotia earlier this week to announce that fees for parents across that province will be cut in half by December 31st. That is thousands of dollars a year in savings to support families with the rising costs of raising a family. Et nous restons déterminés à mettre en place notre système pan-canadien d'apprentissage et de garde des jeunes enfants dans toutes les provinces et tous les territoires. Les tarifs sont en diminution dans tous les pays et nous sommes en bonne voie d'atteindre notre objectif d'une moyenne de $10 par jour pour les services de garde réglementés. Que ce soit par le biais de l'allocation canadienne pour enfants, de notre système national d'apprentissage et de garde des jeunes enfants, ou des mesures énoncées dans notre plan d'abordabilité, notre gouvernement continuera d'être là pour les familles et les enfants. So today, I think, is another historic milestone in ensuring that as a government and as a country, we are there to support all of Canada's children. Thank you. Merci. And now I'm introducing, with great delight, Dr. Tompkins. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Prime Minister, for inviting the Canadian Dental Association and the Ontario Dental Association to participate in this important and historic announcement. We sincerely appreciate the opportunity to be here today as you launch the Canada Dental Benefit. As dentists, we know that oral health is an essential component of overall health, and we believe that Canadians have a right to good oral health. That is why we fully support this initiative by the federal government to improve the oral health of Canadian children and to enhance their access to dental care. Poor oral health strains other parts of the healthcare system, such as through emergency hospital visits, or managing the long-term impacts of poor oral health on systemic disease. This is particularly the case with children. Unfortunately, despite progress over many decades, tooth decay remains the most common, yet preventable, childhood chronic disease in Canada. It is the most common reason for Canadian children to undergo day surgery, and it is a leading cause of why children miss school. And having been in practice for over 35 years, I can tell you that nothing is more heart-wrenching than to see a child suffer with severe dental decay. This often requires treatment under general anesthesia in a surgical facility, which may involve lengthy wait times. In addition to the impact on the child's health, the experience can lead to long-term dental fear and anxiety. Therefore, it is so important to ensure that Canadian parents can access dental care for their children. Early detection of susceptibility to dental decay and exposure to good oral hygiene habits and preventive care can make a lifetime of difference for a person's mouth and their health. While Canada compares favorably to many other countries, too many people, including children, still do not receive the dental care they need. More than 6 million Canadians each year avoid visiting the dentist because of the cost, particularly those in low-income families. And while every province and territory in Canada has some sort of publicly funded dental program for children, these vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, leaving significant gaps. That is why CDA welcomes the government's phased-in approach to this initiative, starting with the Canada Dental Benefit. This will allow time to consult and to collaborate with all relevant stakeholders on a long-term solution that is well-informed, targeted, comprehensive, and effective. This includes continuing to work with the provincial and territorial governments on the interactions between federal proposals and the existing dental programming, as well as engaging directly with dentists across Canada on the design of future federal dental care proposals. We also want to thank this government for deferring to patients, parents, and providers on determining what dental treatment is necessary. This will ensure that children get the dental care they need without restrictions or delays. While $650 or $1,300 over 2 years may not be enough for every single child, it should still be enough for the vast majority to obtain the care they need, and we're very pleased. We hope, with the Canada Dental benefit in place, that the oral health of Canadian children will improve, as well as their overall health and well-being. And while the hard work is only just beginning, let's celebrate today that thanks to this initiative, parents across Canada will now have support to make sure that their young children begin a lifetime of good oral health. Thank you, Prime Minister. Merci beaucoup, and congratulations.
So I don't have a lot to add other than thank you for being here today. And Prime Minister, we love having you in our city, in London. And I think Mayor Morgan kind of agree with me that when you come bearing good news, it's always a good news. So it's important to serve. I'm proud to serve in this government that is putting children at the forefront. When we talk about children and the future of our country, we think about our kids. And when we want to invest in our kids in a meaningful way, we have to think about their health and their living and how they're going to have a better life through the experiences that they have in this country. And our government is investing in childcare, we're investing in dental benefits, and this is the right step towards building a country that prioritizes the future of our children. I want to thank Karina Gold for making the announcement this morning at the childcare in my riding, and also the Prime Minister for visiting today and visiting our beautiful city, and Mayor Morgan as well, and my colleague MP Fergus Gatos. And this concludes our meeting today.
There will now be time for questions from media. Il va avoir maintenant à peu près 20 minutes pour les questions des médias. One question, one follow-up. Please identify your outlet and your name. We'll take the first question.
Yasmine Mehdi avec Radio-Canada. Par rapport à cette histoire de poste de police allégué dans le Grand Toronto de la Chine, est-ce que vous étiez au courant de l'existence de ces postes de police avant la publication du rapport de Safeguard Defenders, ou est-ce que ça a pris une ONG étrangère pour alerter finalement le gouvernement?
Nos services de renseignement canadiens font énormément de travail tous les jours pour assurer la sécurité des Canadiens. Ils suivent et ils sont au courant, ils me donnent de l'information régulièrement sur l'interférence qu'amènent différents gouvernements étrangers contre les communautés canadiennes et on va toujours agir pour protéger les Canadiens.
Puis hier, au comité Canada-Chine, il y a un haut fonctionnaire qui laissait entendre que le gouvernement se préparait à prendre des nouvelles mesures contre Pékin si on ne fermait pas ces 3 postes de police. C'est quoi vos options à part convoquer l'ambassadeur puis dire finalement qu'on n'est pas content?
On est toujours là pour défendre les intérêts des Canadiens, pour défendre nos valeurs, pour assurer que des citoyens ou des résidents du Canada ne soient pas subis à de l'interférence ou de l'ingérence étrangère. C'est quelque chose auquel les Canadiens s'attendent de leur gouvernement et c'est quelque chose sur lequel nous allons toujours travailler.
Prochaine question. Next question, CBC.
Hi, Prime Minister, if you don't mind answering in both English and French, that would be great. Canada's healthcare system is overburdened and facing a fiscal crunch. Is it prudent to spend federal dollars on dental care when the health programs that we already have are so stretched?
We know that Canadians are worried about their kids' health, about their future, about the issues facing our healthcare system right now. That's why, as a federal government, we're stepping up. We stepped up with over $70 billion in investment over the pandemic and extra investments in healthcare to help people get through it. That's why we're working so closely with the provinces now to see real results and real outcomes in improving their healthcare systems, whether it's shorter wait times, ending the backlogs, moving forward on more doctors and nurses and more primary care, better access more rapidly to mental health care. These are the things that we're working closely with the provinces on that Canadians need better results on. But on top of that, there are 500,000 kids in this country who don't have access to dental care. And that means parents either don't send their kids to the dentist or have to make impossible choices about what not to buy for their kids if they're going to send them to the dentist. That's not something we should be living in this country, particularly because we know that oral health is an intrinsic part of overall health. So what we're announcing today is that parents across the country are now going to be able to afford to send their kids to the dentist. This is a key and essential part of us being there for people and making sure that everyone has the best chance to succeed. Oui, les Canadiens sont inquiets par rapport à nos systèmes de santé à travers le pays. La réalité, c'est que il y a beaucoup de familles qui sont très préoccupées par l'accès à leurs enfants à des systèmes de soins de qualité. Et nous aussi, nous sommes préoccupés. C'est pour ça que nous avons investi 72 milliards de dollars de plus au cours des dernières années avec la pandémie. Mais pourquoi nous travaillons maintenant avec les provinces pour exiger de meilleurs résultats pour les Canadiens? Plus d'infirmières et de médecins, moins de listes d'attente, moins de délais dans les chirurgies essentielles, plus d'accès à des services de santé mentale. Nous savons à quel point c'est important d'être là et on continue de se battre pour avoir de meilleurs résultats pour les Canadiens à travers le pays. Mais en même temps, on reconnaît qu'il y a un demi-million d'enfants dans ce pays qui n'ont pas accès à des soins dentaires. Dans un pays riche comme le Canada, c'est inacceptable parce que ce que ça veut dire, c'est qu'il y a bien trop de familles qui, ou bien décident de ne pas envoyer leurs enfants chez le dentiste, mettant à risque leur santé, ou bien doivent faire des choix impossibles s'ils veulent envoyer les enfants chez le dentiste. Bien, à partir d'aujourd'hui, les familles peuvent faire application pour avoir de l'aide pour envoyer leurs enfants chez le dentiste. C'est une annonce qui va aller de façon significative à aider les familles, oui, avec le coût de la vie, mais aussi avec la santé de leurs enfants.
Next question, CP.
Hi. When you were first asked about a veteran with a traumatic brain injury who was told he could undertake medically assisted dying, you declared it unacceptable and vowed that it would never happen again. There have been multiple instances now where Canadians have been offered a medically assisted death or sought one themselves because they can't access the social supports and health programs they need. Meanwhile, the Association of Chairs of Psychiatry in Canada is calling on your government to delay the expansion of medical assistance in dying to people with mental illness as the sole medical condition. What is your government going to do about that?
First of all, the individual who made recommendations to a veteran around medical assistance in dying is no longer working with veterans. That was absolutely unacceptable and we took action on that. But the issue of medical assistance in dying is a deeply personal, extraordinarily difficult choice that individuals and families need to make in the most thoughtful and best supported way possible. We understand that making sure we're respecting people's rights and their choices at the same time as we protect the most vulnerable is a very important but challenging balance to establish. That's why we're working with experts, why we listen to various stakeholders and advocates around the country who are weighing in on the best way to move forward to make sure we are respecting people's lives, rights, and choices, while at the same time ensuring that they are protected.
The federal government funded Ottawa's Phase 1 LRT project with about $600 million, and it's promised $1.1 billion to Phase 2, which is underway but delayed. What are your concerns about how federal funds were used following the inquiry report this week?
Obviously, we watch very closely the impact of the federal dollars that we spent across the country on infrastructure. We know how important it is for the federal government to be a partner to municipalities and to provinces on investing in infrastructure, and we're always going to make sure that the investments the federal government sends to municipalities and provinces deliver those results for Canadians. We're of course looking very closely at the reports, but we're going to continue to ensure that we are there as a partner to build stronger communities, better transit, and a better future for all Canadians.
Next question, CTV.
These are two questions from CTV National. Follow-up on an earlier question. So lead psychiatrists at 17 of Canada's medical schools are calling on the federal government to delay the expansion of a medical-assisted death for those with a mental illness to allow for assessors and providers to be properly trained. How can your government open up dying to people with a mental illness without medical providers being properly trained? And are you concerned that we could end someone's life that doesn't meet the mental health criteria?
Medical assistance in dying is an extremely difficult and personal issue for individuals and families. As a government, we need to make sure that the framework and the resources are in place for people to make informed and proper decisions. We've always striven as a government to be there to support people's rights and their choices, while at the same time making sure we're protecting the most vulnerable. And it's not an easy thing, and that's where listening to experts weighing in on all sides, working with medical professionals, working with advocates, working with various stakeholders across various communities, including the disability community, including the mental health community, is important in getting this right. This is not something that any government should take on lightly, and we certainly haven't. But there are no quick fixes. We just need to be thoughtful and engaged as we move forward in the right way.
And just one more, is it fair to require Afghan refugees who have been approved for residency in Canada to pay back the cost of accommodation while waiting for flights if the length of the stays drags on for months because of government delays?
Canada is one of the countries around the world that has welcomed in the largest number of refugees over the past year, and over the past years, and we continue to step up for Afghan refugees. We made a commitment to resettling 40,000 Afghan refugees since the fall of Kabul, and that's exactly what we're planning on doing. We will continue to work with all sorts of organizations and stakeholders and advocacy groups and families to try and move that as quickly and smoothly as possible. Canadians understand that we have process, we have security verifications in check. We need to make sure that when people get here, they are properly supported. These are all things that we continue to take very seriously.
Next question, Global News.
Hi there, this is Andrew Graham of Global News here in London. Question from me, from our national team. When did you first learn of alleged Chinese interference in the 2019 federal election?
As I've said multiple times, interference in our country, in our democratic processes, is an ongoing challenge from many different countries, including China. And I get regularly briefed on attempts by foreign actors to interfere in multiple processes across Canada. But that's exactly why we brought in a panel of experts charged with the task of overseeing interference or possible interference in our elections, so that Canadians can have confidence that our elections were not compromised. And I can assure everyone that in the 2019 election, the 2021 election, those expert panels concluded that the election integrity held, that our democracies remain strong.
En français?
Comme j'ai dit plusieurs fois, on sait que différents pays, dont la Chine, interfèrent régulièrement avec les citoyens, avec notre pays, nos institutions, y compris nos institutions démocratiques et nos processus électoraux. C'est pour ça qu'en 2019, bien avant les élections, on a créé un panel d'experts qui ont la responsabilité et la capacité de s'assurer de l'intégrité de nos élections. Je suis évidemment tenu au courant de ce que nos agences de sécurité et de renseignement savent sur l'interférence électorale, mais je peux vous dire que ce panel a conclu que l'intégrité de nos élections n'a pas à être mise en question. Nos élections n'ont pas été compromises.
Okay, and follow up, and this will be the last question.
And just adding to that, setting aside whether it compromised the election, were you briefed earlier this year, prior to Global News' reporting, about a Chinese-funded clandestine network operating in Canada and attempting to interfere in the 2019 federal election?
As I said before, and as I continue to repeat since then, even with all the briefings I've had before and since, there has never been any information from our security services to me or to my team on candidates for a federal election being funded by China.
Okay, that concludes today's press conference.
Merci beaucoup tout le monde.